Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And today we are talking all of the new items that I picked up in February. So I didn't do an anticipated releases video for February because frankly, there wasn't a whole lot of new things that were coming out that I was terribly interested in. But I did take advantage of some sales, a Big Lots trip just last night, a Walmart trip the other day, and of course I do have a couple of new releases, but everything in this video is all of the new items that I picked up, and specifically new DVD and new Blu-ray. I bought no new 4K in February, which is very weird. I can't remember another month where I didn't buy like new 4K release at all. So here we are, March. Much different story. March is going to be absolutely loaded. But anyway, with that said, let's not waste any time at all. Let's dive right into my February new DVD and Blu-ray haul. So I'll start with the DVDs I picked up, and yesterday I ended up going to the thrift store to find some things, but right next to our thrift store is a Big Lots, so of course I had to go in and check it out, and they did have some newer things in there that I hadn't seen before, some $2.99 DVDs, so not very pricey at all, and this first one here just looks really interesting. It's from Ben Wheatley. It's called In the Earth. And it's described as a mind-bendingly weird film on the back of the box here. I guess it says, as the world searches for a cure to a disastrous virus, this park scout and scientist go into the forest for a routine run. But then, like, things start happening, they start seeing things, and it goes kind of weird and trippy from there. So, not a clue if this is any good or not. Frankly, I've not heard much about this at all, but I thought for $3, this sounds just trippy enough that I might enjoy it. So yeah, intrigued to see if it's any good or not. Not a clue. Hopefully I will like it. We have In the Earth. You guys know I am a sucker for series. Well, at Big Lots, they had two movies from the same series, so of course I had to grab them both. Now, these are movies that would typically probably end up on the Dollar Tree shelves, but frankly, Dollar Tree seems to be getting out of the DVD and Blu-ray game entirely, so I don't know if they're going to get any more. So I figured, you know what? Just grab them now. They look interesting enough. I grabbed The Jack in the Box. And so this one looks to be from 2020, and it's directed by Lawrence Fowler, and of course it's going to be like a creepy doll movie. This little thing is going to come to life, I'm sure. But to go along with The Jack in the Box, I had to grab its sequel, also directed by Lawrence Foster. This one is from 2021, Jack in the Box Awakening. Now, both of these are movies that I saw at Walmart. Well, I know I've seen Awakening at Walmart. It was one of their, like, $9.96 releases. I had a whole series here. Back in the day, I did, like, 3 episodes in that series where I would go to Walmart, buy these awful-looking, cheap horror movies, and review them. But yeah, those almost always ended up at Big Lots and then eventually would end up at the Dollar Tree. And so when I saw this one, I thought to myself, I definitely want to check that out at some point. Well, now is that point. So yeah, very intrigued to see if these are going to be any good or not. I mean, they're probably not going to be. They remind me a lot of something like Robert the Doll, which I have that. I think I have the whole series of that, which is a really super low budget. I've seen the original film like 2 or 3 times, embarrassingly enough. Not good at all, but yeah, I've watched that one, so I'm gonna hopefully these will be a little bit better than that. But yeah, I thought this was pretty cool to get both of these together. We have Jack in the Box and its sequel, Jack in the Box Awakening. If there are any more of these, please let me know down in the comments below. Oh, speaking of cheap DVDs at Walmart, this was one of those $10 DVDs. Had to grab it. This is an Asylum mockbuster. I grabbed The Exorcists, and this one stars Doug Bradley. Of course, I was picking this one up. This is directed by Jose Prendis, produced by David Michael Latt, who does a ton of these Asylum movies. But yeah, definitely had to check this one out. Of course, this is going to be the mockbuster for The Exorcist, whatever it was, Believer, right? And so yeah, I had to grab it. It was only $10, and you guys know I love The Asylum. There is that infamous logo right there. And of course, it has it on the side as well. But cannot wait to check this one out. Another one for my Asylum collection, which I love collecting Asylum movies. So yeah, had to grab this one. This is The Exorcists with Doug Bradley. You know what? I totally forgot to show this. I wanted to show this first, but I was at Meijer, which is, if you don't know, it's basically a Midwestern Walmart, and they had a clearance section that was like, looked actually pretty decent. So I started looking through, and they had some posters, some like pictures or whatever, pictures on a poster, whatever. They had these here, and I had to grab this one. This was down to like $4.50. I don't think the whole thing's gonna fit in the shot here, but there it is. And it says, would I rather be loved or feared? Easy. Both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me. Michael Scott. And of course you have the Office logo down there with the Office building. So I thought this was too cool to pass up. Now, I've only seen the first 3 seasons of The Office, but I absolutely love it, and I bought that complete on DVD or Blu-ray recently, so definitely one I want to get back to. I just love the show so much, so I had to grab this one. I thought this was hilarious, and again, for $4.50, I will absolutely find a spot for this to go somewhere here in the house. But yeah, I wanted to share that since it is, you know, media related, but yeah, check your local clearance at your local Meijer. If you happen to live in the Midwest, you might find some cool picture frames in there. Alright, so let's jump over to the Blu-rays now, and these first 4 I'm going to show in one go here because I already shared these in a previous video, but they are awesome, and so I want to show them again. These were sent to me by Mill Creek Entertainment. They are, if I'm not mistaken, I think all 4 of these are Walmart exclusive steelbooks on Blu-ray, and they are available for the most part in like early March, but I received them last month, so I did that video then. But anyway, the first one here is I Know What You Did Last Summer, and this thing is beautiful. This is the kind of oddball out because this one has a slip cover with the steelbook there, which again, if you want to see the whole kit and caboodle, check out that other video. But there is I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then we have Hollow Man, which I just talked about the sequel a little bit in my most recent disc replay pickups because I found that one on DVD. But there is Hollow Man with Elizabeth Shue and Kevin Bacon. And then we have Anaconda, as I mentioned in that video, not my favorite movie. I've seen it a couple times. I think it's just maybe a 3-star film. Like, it's fine for what it is, but the steelbook looks great, so that's Anaconda. And yeah, I have these all in my plastic sleeves just to keep them safe. If I remember, if anyone cares, just ask me in the comments and I will link you to the ones that I buy on Amazon. That way, if you're interested in buying them, you can. But last but not least, and this one might already be out, but definitely like the coolest looking of the bunch, we have Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Just beautiful. So again, these are all Walmart exclusive Blu-rays, all steelbooks from Mill Creek that are coming out in early March for the most part. All right, the next handful are just kind of random sales that I saw on Amazon, so I picked them up. This first one here, completely random, but this is I want to say like 1934, if I'm not mistaken. That could be completely wrong, but we have Cecil B. DeMille's Cleopatra. And this thing just looks epic, and it was down to, I want to say somewhere around $5 on Amazon, which is why I picked it up. It's one I'd heard about in the past, and so I figured I would give it a shot. I'm still trying to look for a year on it, but I'm not seeing it, so I'll just move on. I'm sure, yep, 1934. Looks like I was right, which is shocking. But yeah, lots of, or a good amount of bonus features on there as well, which is really cool. But yeah, this is just supposed to be an epic, a old school Hollywood epic. So I figured I would love to give this one a shot at some point in my life. I think it's pretty long. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. It's only 1 hour and 41 minutes. I don't know why I thought this was much longer. But yeah, so happy to have this one in the collection. Very interested to see if it's any good or not. We have Cecil B. DeMille's Cleopatra. Next up is one that I actually owned on DVD thanks to the Dollar Tree. I picked it up, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 years ago because somebody I watched on YouTube recommended it, but I never ended up getting around to it. And my wife like saw a trailer for it or something and said, you know what, that looks pretty good, let's watch it. I must have purged it from my collection without realizing it or just not thinking about it. And so I went back in, and at the time, the DVD was the only way to get it, but now it is available on Blu-ray. That was a long intro for Spontaneous. An explosive love story. This is a weird one where like teenagers are self-combusting. It's so strange, but I don't know, my wife was interested. It was really cheap on Amazon on Blu-ray, and it was one that I wanted to see before. I don't know why it left my collection to begin with. I must have just thought that day, I'm not going to watch this, let's get rid of it. But then my wife showed interest, so of course I had to get it back in there. So again, super cheap at only, I don't know, $7, $8, something like that. This one is Spontaneous. These next three are all part of the Scream Factory / Shout Factory sale that was going on Amazon. I think they were basically price matching the Love is in the Scare sale that they were doing, except free shipping, which is always a good thing. So the first one I grabbed, I think all three of these are Scream Factory specifically, but this one is The Crush. Now, I'd never seen this one before, but I've heard interesting things about it. And it has Alicia Silverstone and Carrie Elwes, who, of course, I love both of them. So I definitely wanted to check it out. It looks like a 90s thriller, which I'm all about. So it should be a lot of fun and some decent special features on there as well. So had to grab this one. One I've always been intrigued by, but never owned. And it was a very good price recently, so I did grab it last month. This is The Crush. I was really excited to upgrade this one because I owned maybe I think it was the last two in this series on DVD. I found one in my inherited movie collection, and I grabbed another one at a garage sale last summer, but I still needed 1 and 2, so I just upgraded the whole thing to Blu-ray. This is the Poison Ivy collection, and this has all 4 films. So Poison Ivy from 92, Poison Ivy 2 Lily from 1996, Poison Ivy The New Seduction from 97, and Poison Ivy The Secret Society all the way 11 years later, 2008. So yeah, this was one that I've been waiting for to drop in price, and it finally did to a price I was willing to pay for it, somewhere around $20, maybe $25, something like that. But yeah, very excited to check these movies out. I think I've seen parts of the first one, but that's really it. I've never seen the rest of the series. So yeah, that's Alyssa Milano right there. Count me in. Yes, please. Cannot wait to check out this series. We have the Poison Ivy collection. This last one from Scream Factory is really exciting to me because it was the final John Carpenter film I needed to purchase to have his entire filmography on at least Blu-ray. We have Memoirs of an Invisible Man. So this one has been in my Amazon cart for the absolute longest time, and I've just never gotten around to buying it. Well, it finally dropped. I want to say it was under $20, and so that was enough for me to finally pull the trigger, and now I have Carpenter's entire filmography. So I think it was 2 years ago, maybe? Whenever it was. I think it was 2 years ago. I watched all of John Carpenter's horror films that I hadn't seen previously. Well, this was one of the non-horror films I still need to see. So definitely going to check this one out soon. Cannot wait to see if it's any good or not. We have Memoirs of an Invisible Man. So these final 2 releases are the only 2 brand new releases from the month that I picked up, but there was a new Kino Cult release that came out, so of course I'm trying to get all of those as they go, or as they come out, so I had to grab this one. It looks strange, but hopefully it'll be good. This is Drifter, and this is spine number 6 from the Kino Cult line. I really need to start watching these because these look so weird. So this is a different kind of film, a new breed of man. I believe this is an LGBTQI plus film, and it is about a bisexual man, essentially. So no clue if this is going to be any good. It's from 1974, so you don't get a ton of movies like that from this era. So yeah, I have no idea. I bought it because it's Kino Cult. Hopefully I'll like it, but I really need to start watching through these because if I just start hating all of them as I go through, then I could be saving myself $20 to $30 a month on them. But yeah, so far I am 6 for 6 on the Kino Cult line. This one is Drifter. Last but not least is the only item I did a community post on and said this is really the only one I'm really excited about. That's why I didn't do an anticipated releases video, but this is such a cool release and I feel like I haven't heard anybody talk about it. We have Hanna-Barbera's Superstars 10. So in this collection are all 10 of these films here. We have, I'm going to flip it over, nothing for you guys to see. So we have, they're not, oh, here they are. Okay, they're on the back. We have Yogi's Great Escape, The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones, Yogi Bear and the Magical Flight of the Spruce Goose, Top Cat and the Beverly Hills Cats, The Good, the Bad, and the Huckleberry Hound, Rockin' with Judy Jetson, Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, Yogi and the Invasion of the Space Bears, and then the 2 reasons, really, why I bought this, Scooby-Doo Meets the Boo Brothers, and Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. All of them on Blu-ray, and there is 2 bonus ones on here, Scooby Goes to Hollywood and Yogi's Ark Lark. You can see the entire list on there as well as on the front. But yes, please. Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers and Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School are two of my all-time favorite Scooby movies. I used to watch them relentlessly on an old VHS that my mom taped from TV as a kid. I love them. I own them both on DVD, but I now just sold those off in order to get this Blu-ray set. Cannot wait to dive into this thing. Have not opened it up yet, but it just came out maybe a week or week and a half ago. So yeah, definitely excited that this one is in the collection. I actually was pre-ordering those two movies by themselves, but it was like 20 bucks a pop. So I was like, well, I might as well just spend, you know, a little bit more and get all 10 of them on Blu-ray because I love the Jetsons as a kid too. So this is an awesome set. I am so excited that they released this. I had no idea it was coming, but yeah, really cool release from Hanna-Barbera. The Hanna-Barbera's Superstars 10. Let me know if this is anything you guys might be interested in. I think it is just super cool. But yeah, that one is going to wrap up all of the new DVDs and Blu-rays that I grabbed in February. All right, so only 2 brand new releases from the month of February, but thanks to sales, a whole bunch of new DVDs and Blu-rays in the collection from last month. February was much different than what March is going to be though, because March is loaded with new releases that I'm absolutely grabbing. A bunch of James Cameron films are finally hitting 4K. Top of the list to me has to be Aliens. I love it. Obviously, I'm picking that one up. But yeah, you'll see my anticipated releases video for March coming probably Tuesday of this week when I post this video. But yeah, very happy with what I was able to grab this month and cannot wait for the month of March. But I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. What did you grab in February? What was new to you? I'd love to hear about that and anything else down in the comments below. So thank you so much for that support. But that is going to do it for today, guys. So if you enjoyed this one, go ahead and hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. But before you go, I just want to encourage you all to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.